Yes, good day, my friends and family. Hope y'all are having a good time wherever you are. Now, we're going to talk about Ghana and the IMF and World Bank. In early 2025, something happened in Ghana that made the world financial uneasy. The World Bank, the IMF, they got real nervous. Ghana currency, the Cedi, rose over 40% against the dollar. For most countries, a stronger currency is a badge of honor. But for Ghana, it triggers concern from the very institution claiming to help. The IMF, the World Bank, this is the untold story. Ghana entered into an IMF extended credit facility in 2023 worth $3 billion to stabilize the economy hit by debt, inflation, and currency collapse. The program was built around the assumption that the Cedi would remain weak, which would make export cheaper and import much more costly. Fast forward, 2025, the Cedi rally sharply, hitting levels not seen in years. Why? Why they were worried? Let's break it down. But before we get into that, I ask you, please like, share, and subscribe. So when we bring you stories like these, you'll be the first to know. It breaks the plan. The IMF debt sustainable target and the budget framework depend on a predictable, weaker Cedi. A sudden climb, 40%, throw their whole numbers off. It shifts powers. A stronger currency for Ghana means Ghana can pay debt faster, import at lower costs, and rely less on foreign loans. It reduces fire sale opportunities. Foreign investors can't scoop up Ghanaian businesses and land for cheap when the Cedi is strong. Now, my friends, are you following me? This is how the West operates. For decades, African economy have been locked into a cycle of undervaluations of their currency and their resources. Not only African countries, but the Caribbean and third world countries. That's how they extract our wealth. So when the Cedi rise, it doesn't just mean a stronger purchasing power. It challenges the idea that Ghana must remain dependent. And when dependency fade, political leverage from outside also fade. So that is the reason why the IMF and the World Bank was upset. They wasn't upset that Ghana was doing something good. They was upset that it would take less CD, less Ghanaian money to repay the loan. And Ghana could repay the loan much faster. You following me? Currency strength is much more than economic statistics. It's a form of sovereignty. Ghana in 2025 experience show that when African nation currency gain real ground, the balance of power changes and changes fast. And not everyone is happy. When I say not everyone, I mean the Western world. They're not happy. Simple reason Ghana can afford to pay off their loan much faster at a cheaper rate. And that's not how the IMF or the World Bank operate. They want to keep you in debt, keep refinancing the debt to keep you more in debt so foreign companies, Western companies can come in and buy up your business at cheap cost or buy up your land for pennies on the dollar and they make huge profit. That's how the IMF and the World Bank operates. So when the Ghana CDs rise, it was a moment of pride, but also a warning shot across the bow of those who preferred Africa to remain weak. The, Let me repeat that. The World Bank, IMF, Western world preferred Africa and the Caribbean to remain weak. It what it does to it shows that Ghana was managing its resource and policies right, and they have the willpower to own their economies and to stand tall. That's what the IMF want. They wanted to show weak. They wanted to be weak all the time. So when African countries and the Caribbean is showing signs of improving, they don't like that. So what did the World Bank and the IMF did? They sent their agents down there to warn, so-called warn Ghana that it is to stop doing what it was doing because they don't want the CD to rise. They want it to devalue, then increase. So we have to watch these play by these so-called Western companies who comes in and say they're willing to help. No, they're not willing to help. They're willing to steal. And when they come in, they get these organizations to devalue your currency, your minerals, and your worth. And trust me, when they get it, they resell it at tremendous, humongous price, and they sell it back to you at a higher price. My people, this has been the pattern of the Western world since the end of colonization. Now, colonization and slavery didn't end, it just changed colors or stripes. Okay? So these are the things that we have to look out for. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can bring you more stories, facts, and Africa on the Caribbean. See you in the next video.